Hi, I'm Mike with Holmes Quality Products. Today we're going to talk about some news and things that's been going on with credit cards, finance, and other things. All right, first up we have Instacart and Uber Eats have teamed up, and they're going to use the Instacart app will have restaurant deliveries, but they're actually using Uber Eats to do the deliveries. And then your Instacart will still be your groceries and things like that. It's supposed to like simplify it and make it kind of like all in one place. We'll see how it goes. It's kind of weird because with Uber Eats, Uber also does grocery deliveries, so maybe they're going to remove that from themselves. I'm not sure. I just want to mention in this video because if you're using your credit cards with the Instacart or Uber credits or Uber Eats, however you want to use it, like I use my Platinum and Gold card, something to think about. So they'll still be using Uber Eats as the carrier who's going to actually pick up the food and deliver it, but it'll be under the Instacart app. So I'm not sure exactly if the Uber credits will work through it or if you still need to use Uber Eats to do that. All right, next up, Bilt MasterCard is going to have points for mortgage. Now, they already do points for rent. It's like one of the few cards that do that and give you money for rent. They even cover, like if your rent will charge you like a 3%, to pay with a card, they'll cover the 3% and still give you points, or they'll mail whoever you rent through a check. But they are going to be adding mortgages. It's something a lot of people want. I say all the time, like if I had to pick one travel card, it's probably going to be my Bilt MasterCard. It's a great card. And if it starts giving you points for mortgage, that's going to be great. I'm going to put a link down below with an interview from Call Me Lonnie's channel where he interviews Bilt's VP of Travel, Bill Kerr, and they talk about it. He says it's coming, don't know when. Also, another thing that's mentioned, they don't know exactly who it'll cover. I don't know if they'll do like they do with rent and maybe mail out a check. But what I'm curious is if you have maybe your mortgage through like Chase or Wells Fargo or something, how they would feel. Well, Wells Fargo would probably be okay because they work with Bilt already. But somebody like Chase or something, if they'd be okay with you paying with a Chase with your Bilt card, and even though it's using somebody else's. So I don't know, we'll just have to see how it goes. But I'm really excited that that's coming for the people that have a mortgage and don't have rent. This will be great. You should also watch the whole interview. Actually, I was really impressed. Call Me Lonnie asked a lot of like regular questions, like just stuff. Yeah, I found it entertaining actually, so it was pretty good. And Bilt's VP for travel, Bill Kerr, like he was super like, it felt like he was super genuine and like open about stuff. It wasn't like everything was secret. He was actually just throwing out information of things that they're planning and they're coming that's far down the line and stuff like that. So you should check out the video. Like I said, I'll put a link down below. Definitely watch it. It was good. All right, next up is Goldman Sachs Marcus Robo Invest they have is actually going to be moving from them to Betterment. So that is going to give Betterment more assets under management. So I think it'll probably be good for Betterment. What it seemed like is maybe with Goldman Sachs, like it was just wasn't quite something that was working out the way they thought it would work out. Betterment's been doing the Robo Invest for a long time. So I think that's kind of a smart move. If it's not working out well for them, maybe it'll work out well for somebody else. Also, if you don't know much about Betterment, they have a high yield savings, like a 5+% if you sign up with them. But their checking, they also have a checking account. And their debit card kind of reminds me of my Schwab debit card too. So right now I'm trying out the Betterment account. I'm going to make a video about it eventually once I've used it a little bit more, because I've used Schwab debit card in other countries. I want to try using the Betterment debit card in other countries, see how it works. But it's supposed to be like the Schwab where even if you use the debit card in another country, they reimburse you the fees. So you get a high yield savings. You got a simple investment. Now, if you're somebody who likes to pick your portfolios like in more detail or pick your investments, I would suggest Betterment. But if you just want to put it into like a general category and let them do the work for you, it's an option. At the same time, you get a debit card that's great for international travel, free ATMs throughout the world, and then they also have a high yield savings. So it's a really good combination of things. And once I finally got to do some more testing with it and things and tried it out some different situations, I'll be making a video about it. All right, last up is Visa. So Visa has made some pretty big announcements about changing the way credit cards work. So basically they're saying like one credit card could be multiple credit cards. The idea is you go into the app and you choose criteria to use which card. You can pick a name, like say at Chick-fil-A you want to use this certain card that gives you 3 or 4% back. But when you go to CVS, you want to use this other card that's going to give you 2 or 3% of CVS. But at the same time, you're only swiping one card, using one card. But when it comes up as different retailers, it'll go ahead and use the other card. My questions about this is like, if you have a Visa card through Chase and say Wells Fargo, will you be able to have one card that works both of them, or do you have to have one for Chase and one for Wells Fargo? And then what about companies that mix them up? So for example, like Capital One. Most Capital One cards are MasterCard, but then you get the Venture X and it's a Visa. So now you still gotta have a different card for each one. Or would they work somehow with, I don't see them working with MasterCard or anything, but I kind of like the idea. It'd be kind of cool that I can use one card. Like I'd like to have one city card, and when I use it for this, it automatically goes to fuel. If I swipe it for this, it automatically uses the Double Cash, or if I swipe it for this, it automatically uses the Strata Premier. And that way you don't have to worry about, you've already went through and set the criteria and you're just using the card. So it could be kind of neat. They also mentioned that they want to make it where there's no card numbers. So I don't know, they just don't mean on the card or in general, because like the Apple Card has no card numbers on it. You have to go into the wallet app, click on the Apple Card, and you can see the number, which is fine with me. Like I don't really need it on the card. But we'll have to wait and see what they do. I mean, it was kind of like they gave you some ideas. It seemed like almost like a brainstorm, and they threw it out to the public. But we'll just have to see how it goes. Like I said, it could be cool. It could be useful. But it's always, like things could sound great, but it's a lot of times it's the implementation, how they implement it, that affects how really useful something is. Great idea. They implement it badly, and then nobody wants to use it. So we'll have to see what they do. Remember, like I always say, if you don't have the cash, you don't have the credit. Only spend what you have. I don't want you guys going in debt. I want you to get free travel, free cash back, get things for free, travel for free. Don't want anybody going in debt. So only spend what you have unless it's an emergency. If you guys like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to help this channel grow. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And I will see you guys in the next one.